Hi, boys and girls. This is Marianne here, and today we're going to talk about inflection when we are reading. So I want you to think about which way is more exciting when I share this phrase. I love to go to the park. I love to go to the park. Was my first one more exciting or my second version more exciting? Think about it. I hope you said the second, because that's true. The first time around, you couldn't tell how I felt because I said it in such a blah, boring way. But then the second time when I shared that phrase, you could hear the excitement in my voice. You could see the excitement in my face and in my body language. So we want to think about that when we are reading a story. We want to use inflection. That means we're changing the sound or the tone of our voice to match what's happening in the story. So if a character is sad, when you are reading that part of a character, you're not going to say, the dog was sad. You would say, the dog was sad, for you to understand how the character is feeling. So today we're going to come across some parts of a story that I'm going to read to you. And then you're going to decide which part you think you can show the correct inflection. I'll do some examples in the story about how the inflection should be or the tone should be of the story. But then I'm going to come to a page where we're going to pause. And I want you to think about how you would sound or how that character would sound. And then you're going to record how the character should sound in the story during that part on Seesaw. All right, so let me share the story with you. The story is going to be found on Epic, so you can always go back to this story, okay? And you can go back to your favorite part where you want to show the inflection. So the title of this book is Kitty and Dragon, Kitty Gets a Cold. So right there we know, how do you feel when you get a cold? Not so good, right? So we'd want to make sure that we share that when we're reading. We don't want to make it sound like a robot. We always talk about in class reading like a robot. That's not how we talk. We always want to make sure that when we're reading a story, it just sounds like how we're having a conversation. So let's give this a try. Kitty and Dragon. Kitty gets a cold. And we can see right here, Kitty is not feeling well. So if Kitty was talking in the story, we wouldn't be talking with very excitement because Kitty does not look very excited. One morning, Dragon goes outside. The sky is blue, the wind is blowing. It is the perfect day to fly a kite. Dragon finds his kite. He waits for Kitty to wake up. When Kitty opens her eyes, she groans. Now I want you to take notice in the story. See these little marks? We call those quotation marks. That means that the character is actually saying that in the story. So this is a perfect time for me to show my inflection. So I know that the story is about Kitty getting a cold. So I'm going to make Kitty sound not so happy because it told me that when Kitty opens her eyes, she groans. And when you groan, that doesn't mean you're happy. Are you ready? Listen to my inflection. My nose is stuffy, she tells Dragon. My throat hurts. My head, choo. So did you hear how Mrs. Marianne used inflection? I could have read it like this. When Kitty opens her eyes, she groans. My nose is stuffy, she tells Dragon. My throat hurts. My head, chew. Which way did you like better? The first way Mrs. Marianne read or the second way? I hope you said the first way because I showed inflection. I have a cold, Kitty says. I cannot fly a kite. I need to be alone so I can rest. See how I showed inflection? Because I look at that picture, Kitty is not feeling well. Kitty closes her eyes. She falls asleep. Dragon tries to fly his kite all by himself, but it's no fun without Kitty. Now let me read that like a robot. Dragon tries to fly his kite all by himself, but it is not fun without Kitty. Reading like a robot does not make a story exciting. Reading with inflection does. Dragon tries to fly his kite all by himself, but it is no fun without Kitty. You can hear the tone of my voice matches how Dragon is feeling, disappointed and sad because he can't do this alone. He needs his friend Kitty. Dragon has an idea. He will help Kitty get better. He goes to his library. He reads books about taking care of kitties who have colds. When he is done reading, Dragon knows what to do. Dragon goes to the kitchen. He boils water. He pours it into a big cup. He adds a tea bag. He stirs in honey. Dragon puts a cup of hot tea next to Kitty. Kitty drinks the tea. It soothes her sore throat. She goes back to sleep. Dragon makes soup for Kitty. He chops onions, garlic, carrots, and celery. He cooks them in a pot. He adds broth. Dragon stirs in fish and herbs. Finally, he adds some noodles. He simmers the soup until the noodles are done. Dragon ladles the soup into a bowl. Dragon puts the bowl of soup next to Kitty. Kitty eats the soup. It warms her tummy. She goes back to sleep. Dragon looks for sewing supplies. He digs for a bag of fabric. Dragon watches his crystal ball to learn how to quilt. Next, we thread the needle. Dragon begins to sew for the first time. Dragon is not happy with his first try. It does not look quite right. He pulls out the thread. He starts again. When he is done, Dragon has a blanket. It looks a little strange, but it is very warm. Dragon puts the blanket over Kitty. He is careful not to wake her. Kitty sleeps all night. In the morning, Kitty wakes up. She stretches her legs. She clears her throat. All right, now, boys and girls, this is your chance to share some inflection. I'm going to read the story in a robot way. I want to see how you would do it. So this part says, I feel better, she says. Do you think you can record yourself sharing how Kitty would sound, showing inflection in the story when Kitty says, I feel better? Thank you for the hot tea. Thank you for the fish noodle soup. Thank you for the warm blanket. How do you think Kitty would sound in this part of the story? That's where you're going to record your inflection, sharing that part of the kitty. What would the kitty sound like? Dragon smiles. He gives Kitty the kite. Together, Dragon and Kitty fly the kite in the sunny, windy sky. Ah, 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 choo! Oh no, now poor Dragon has the cold. So let's go back again. So now it's your turn to share the inflection, okay? So if you don't remember all the words, it's okay. Remember, you can hear what the words are when you go into Epic. But remember, the kitty is talking about how she's feeling better. And she's saying thank you to the dragon for making the hot tea, for making the soup, and giving her that warm blanket. So I want you now to go on the seesaw and pretend that you are Kitty in the story and record how you would sound if you were Kitty. Would Kitty have a robot voice? Would Kitty have a sad voice? Would Kitty have a happy voice? Show me your inflection. All right. Thanks and take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.